Hey everybody, it's Jackie Shelley, and I'm back again with this week's video blog. Unfortunately for me, it was a bit of an unproductive week. I've actually been really ill for the last 4 or 5 days, and a couple of different illnesses back to back that my kids brought home from school. A couple of other changes. You can see my hair has gone purple, although in this video it looks pretty much pure black, but if you could see in better light, I've had the fun of dyeing my hair purple, and tonight I just added the bangs, so I'm having some fun with my appearance lately as I realized that each video blog for the last few weeks has had a completely different image in it. So a couple of things that I wanted to talk about. One, um, like I said, I've been sick this week and I didn't do a written blog like I have for the last 2 or 3 weeks running. And given how exciting and spectacular the last few weeks have been in terms of writing and getting a response, I was feeling a little bit down about this, and also just struggling in general with depression this week, partly from being sick, and partly just from becoming rather suddenly pretty socially isolated. I did get out for my birthday, and that was exciting, and I got to see a good number of my friends all in one place. And then I came home and realized that my calendar is pretty much empty for the next few months, which on the one hand is lots of time in which to work and get things done and do things. But on the other hand, it's just kind of terrifying. I'm not used to being alone, and I don't like being alone. And I've kind of been questioning, what is this thing that's going on with me where I don't like to be by myself, and I don't like to sit with myself. And I've been working on that a little bit, adding in some meditation practice and things like that that are designed to sort of help me learn to be happy and comfortable being by myself. So a lot of work that I'm doing around that, but I have been feeling a little bit down and depressed, and then I didn't write this week, and then that leads into this typical spiral where I just drop all the projects that I'm doing, and I didn't feel like doing this video blog tonight either, and especially because I didn't write a written blog this week. I thought, well, what's the point of doing the video blog? There's nothing to talk about. So here I'm doing a video blog talking about not doing my writing. So I'm sure this is something that I'm not the first blogger to run into this problem where you get this great enthusiasm for any project when it's brand new, and the first couple of things I do I get really excited about, and then it comes time to keep it going, and I start to think, well, I can't possibly do something as good as I did the first time, or maybe what I did the first time wasn't as good as I thought it was. A lot of insecurities coming up as I continue forward with this whole process. But then I looked in the mirror and I thought, oh my God, you have bright purple hair and it's like completely different. And this is a perfect opportunity to do a random video blog. No one will even recognize you. It's fine. So a lot of like sort of goofiness helping me also to keep moving forward. It was a tough week for a bunch of other reasons. If you, I don't know how I'll date mark these or timestamp them or whatever, but if you look at the date on this video blog, if you're watching this sometime after, you'll realize that this was the week of the bombings of the Boston Marathon. And in fact, today was the day that they just apprehended the second suspect in that case. And there's been a lot of tension in the air. Everybody's been glued to the news. A lot of my social media updates have been sort of jarring and out of place this week. I saw at least one company kind of using the tragedy to promote their brand, and it was kind of poorly done. And I saw a number of people talking about that from a branding and marketing point of view, because those are a lot of the people I follow on social media. And I saw a lot of commentary about how to use social media during a tragedy. So a lot of good discussion going on around that, but it was a pretty dark week, and I think a lot of us were feeling that permeating everything, and so it wasn't all just about me and sitting in my own little space being down. It was also something that that I think a lot of us just didn't know how to deal with, didn't know what was going on, and I'm hoping that more answers will be forthcoming in the news in the next few days. There's also been a lot of mockery of the news media. I've seen just The Onion was on a roll this week, posting breaking updates about breaking news flash, breaking news, nothing is happening. So, as a person who avoids mainstream media, I don't watch television at all if I can help it, and I don't typically read a newspaper, although I did pick up the family newspaper and read, the details of the story in this particular case. But I'm not a daily reader of any particular news source. I actually get most of my news second and third hand from Facebook or Twitter, and then if there's something clearly happening, that's when I'll go kind of look up like the New York Times articles and read the sort of mainstream version of what's happening. But so I often do it backwards. I get some sort of indication from friends and Facebook or people's conversation in my day-to-day life, and then I go back and actually usually I'm behind the times in terms of finding out what's going on. But so I've seen a lot of mockery coming from these sources, Facebook and Twitter also. People kind of saying that the news was doing a poor job of covering the tragedy, and I don't have any personal experience to back that up. I wasn't watching the mainstream news coverage, but definitely there's some conversation going on around that, and also around technology and the use of technology. I take it people were tweeting out things that the police scanners were saying during the actual manhunt, and there was a lot of debate about whether that was okay or not, and whether people should be doing that, and whether that was helpful or actually dangerous. So it's been interesting to watch as this unfolded and all these kind of disturbing things were going on, just the spin-off conversations that were happening about the media and their handling of the situation, and also about technology and how it's changing. When something does happen, people are on the spot with cell phones, and I take it the news reporters were getting very close to the police action, maybe too close in some cases. So, it was just interesting from my perspective. I was really removed from it all, but I definitely had the tragedy on my mind for much of the week, and felt it affecting everyone that I was connected to online. And since, like I said, I'm home right now and a bit socially isolated, I'm not going out as much as I usually do. My connection to the online world is maybe my focus is more on that than usual, and so I was paying more attention to what was happening there. So I don't know if any of that will translate into a blog post later, or whether I'll just avoid the topic altogether. I'm still new to this whole thing, and I don't feel very much like I want to be touching current events in the things that I write about a lot. I think they're too raw, probably, as they happen. I did read a couple of pieces that were written immediately in response. The one that jumps out is James Altucher's, because I recently subscribed to his work after interacting with him a few weeks ago, and his piece was just beautiful and raw and brilliant, and I feel like, if I could respond like that, that would be great. But I feel like for me, I need a little more distance from these events to even be able to make sense of it. So bravo to the people that can handle it well. Boo to the people that were using it to promote their brands this week. Not so good. And then I did have at least a couple of final thoughts. Oh, I know. So I do have someone who's interested in partnering with me and doing some fun experiments with these video blogs, and that's Gigi Peterkin. We talked about it today, and she's in Philadelphia, so that we have quite some distance between us, and we have some technological issues to work out. We're going to try using a Google Hangout maybe and see what happens. But so there's some idea of maybe doing like an East meets West back and forth dialogue, which will probably make this a little more interesting than just hearing me talk about my week and the events of my week. So maybe I can explore what it's like to work with another person. So yay, Gigi, I'm looking forward to working with you. And other than that, I just have to end the segment by putting on a pair of bunny ears, just because they were here and they belong to my daughter. And they do match my purple hair, which I do realize you still can't really see is purple on this video, but it's purple. Just believe me, take my word for it. I'm rather excited about this. So that's it. This is Jackie Shelley. I'm signing off. Nice talking to you.